In this video tutorial, we will explain what happens after you submit a tax return. This information is specifically made for Dalhousie University international students who are currently living in Canada. After you have submitted a tax return, it is processed by the Canada Revenue Agency, also known as the CRA. The CRA typically processes returns that are submitted online in 1 to 2 weeks. Returns that were submitted by paper can take from 4 to 8 weeks. Please expect delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic. After your return has been processed, the CRA will send you a document called a Notice of Assessment. This confirms your tax refund and your tuition credit. It also confirms other information related to your tax refund. If this is your first time submitting a tax return, you will receive the Notice of Assessment in 2 to 6 weeks after your return was processed. However, this is a different year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, so please expect some delays. If your mailing address changes during the time that you're waiting to receive your Notice of Assessment, you're advised to call Canada Revenue Agency directly and let them know your new address. You can reach the Canada Revenue Agency by calling 1-800-959-8281. Please be prepared to be on hold as this number is very busy during the tax season. Once you have received your Notice of Assessment, you should keep it safe for the next year. You will need it for other purposes. When you call Canada Revenue Agency, they will ask you for information from your Notice of Assessment to confirm your identity. Information on that return, like the unused tuition and education amounts, will be necessary for your next year's tax return. So remember the tax folder or the tax box that we discussed in earlier videos? That's one place where you can save your Notice of Assessment. If you have done tax returns before and you have an online CRA account, then your Notice of Assessment was available there. When you completed your tax return, you may have been eligible for a tax refund. You would be eligible if you had a job and income tax was deducted. The amount of your tax refund should be direct deposited into your bank account. Please note it won't be listed as tax refund, but as Government of Canada. If your tax return was submitted online and you used direct deposit, that is, you submitted your bank information on that tax return, your refund is deposited in your bank account and it takes usually around 1 to 2 weeks. If your tax return was submitted online, but you didn't add your bank information and you didn't request to start direct deposit, your refund is going to be printed on a check and it's mailed to the mailing address you indicated on your tax return. This will take longer than 2 weeks. If your return was submitted by mail, then your return will be deposited or sent by check in 8 weeks or more. Please expect delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic. You will receive the GST HST benefit if you are low income. This will be direct deposited in your bank account. Again, that is only if you submitted your bank information when you did your tax return and you indicated that you wanted to start direct deposit. If this is your first time submitting a tax return, you will receive your first payment in July 2021. The other payments will be deposited in October, January, and April. Please note it won't be listed specifically as GST HST credit in your online banking, but usually as Government of Canada. The Nova Scotia Affordable Living Tax Credit is usually issued the same time as the GST HST benefit. Again, if this is your first time submitting a tax return, it will be deposited in July 2021, and the other payments will be deposited in October, January, and April. If you have dependents and they were added on your tax return, you would be eligible for childcare benefits. The childcare benefits would, like the other payments, be direct deposited in your bank account if you chose to start direct deposit and submitted your bank information when you did your tax return. The full payment schedule for the childcare benefits is available on the Government of Canada website. You can click the link in the description box and that will take you directly to that website. Now, sometimes the government needs more information before they can distribute the GST HST credit benefit. You may receive a letter asking you about your world income. These letters are usually sent out between May and December, but they can come in other months as well. If you receive this letter, simply respond to the letter's request. Step by step instructions on how to do so are available on the International Centre website. If you don't respond to the letter, please note that your payments may stop. Also, the government may ask you for information related to your tuition. This is called a tuition review. You may receive the letter stating that your tax return is under review and you have 30 days to confirm your tuition amounts. If you receive this letter, don't panic. You only need to reply to the letter um, and let them know your tuition amounts. Instructions on how to do so are available on that letter request, but they're also available on the International Centre website. We strongly encourage all students to create an online Canada Revenue Agency account after they have submitted their very first tax return. You will find the information about the online account in the personal income tax section of the Government of Canada website, and we'll put a link in the description box below. Having this account is really beneficial. You can use it to manage your direct deposit information if you want to change your bank account. You can also use it to receive messages from the Government of Canada that are faster than getting the messages through the mail. The account will include your notice of assessment each time you do a tax return, and you can also use the account to change your mailing address online. This is much faster than having to call the Canada Revenue Agency's personal income tax phone number, be on hold, and wait until you can speak with an advisor to change your address. You can also use this account to apply for eligible benefits in the future. And this is really advantageous in that it helps you avoid losing mail if you change your addresses, because all the information that you'd be receiving would be going directly to that account. So we strongly encourage you to have an online CRA account. Please note that you'll only be able to create this online CRA account after you have submitted a tax return. A link to creating this account is available in the description box below. Please be aware of scams. Scammers may call you claiming that you owe the Government of Canada money or that you need to make payments on your social insurance number. These scams have been happening for the last several years, and scammers target international students and older residents because they are the most susceptible to believe these calls to be true. The caller may ask you to call them back immediately and may tell you that if you don't call them back, you will be arrested or removed from Canada. But the Government of Canada never calls individuals' personal phones and asks them for money over the phone. The Government of Canada contacts individuals via mail and they have the government seal on them, or they will contact you using the personal online account. If you receive a phone call like this, hang up immediately. Contact the International Centre or Dalhousie Security Services to verify the call. Do not make any payments to the caller, especially if they are asking for you to make these payments online via e-transfer or wire transfer to a specific account. They may also ask you to purchase Visa gift cards and send the gift cards to a specific area or an account. Do not do this. Once you have received your payments and your notice of assessment, you usually don't need to do anything else. But if you receive a letter from the Government of Canada, please respond to their request. If you're not sure if the information in the letter is accurate, contact the International Centre. Don't forget to save your tax documents in a safe place in case the Government of Canada asks to see them. Next year, you can use your U-File account to submit your tax return for that year. If you have any questions about your tax refund or your tax return, you can contact the Government of Canada's CRA. For contacting inside Canada, use the number 1-800-959-8281. If you are outside of Canada or in the United States, use the number 613-940-8495. Please note that when you call this number, you will be asked to verify your identity. You will be asked for your social insurance number, your full name and date of birth, your complete mailing address on file, and information from your returns. So that will include information from a notice of assessment or reassessment or another tax document. If you are calling the CRA on behalf of someone else, please note that you must be a legal representative. That means you would need to have indicated to the Canada Revenue Agency that this person has allowed you to be their legal representative. More tax information is included in the links in the description box below. You can also find tax information on the International Centre website in the section for current students and on the Government of Canada website. This brings us to the end of our tax tutorial video series. Thank you for watching, and we hope that this series was helpful.